Welcome to VHS Voyage, where we are on a journey to find, watch, and discuss movies on VHS we've never seen or never knew existed. I'm Matt.
I'm Devin.
In today's episode, we're going to watch Boa. All right, everybody. So today we're going to be talking about a movie starring Dean Cain called Boa. Now, I do want to say this is going to be part 1 of 2 of Giant Creature Showdown, because next week we're going to be watching Komodo, and then at the end of that episode, we're going to decide which movie is better, Boa or Komodo. It's probably going to be Komodo. Before I start digging into this deep, philosophical, complex story with lots of life lessons, Devin, hit us with some facts and information.
Okay, this is directed by Philip J. Roth. You want to try to guess IMDb?
Oh, do I? I'm going to go with 3 out of 10.
It's 3.4. Only audience is available on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay. Rotten Tomatoes audience, I'm going to go 20.
It's 19.
19? Wow.
This stars Dean Cain. It's the only actor I'm going to mention. As you would expect, this was a straight-to-video movie. This is one of those like Sci-Fi Channel movies.
Yeah.
You know, there's an audience for these though. My pop loves these movies.
Yeah.
Bro, they used to get wild with these two, bro.
Oh yeah, really?
Dude, I used to open the Sci-Fi Channel. It'd be like Mecha Crocodile.
Yeah, right.
Or like Naked Grandma versus Fully Clothed Gazelle. Meth lemur versus heroin turtle or something.
You know what? I would watch that.
The movie isn't even called Boa. It's called New Alcatraz.
You know what? When I went on Letterboxd to log it, I noticed that. What's up with that?
So it's only called Boa on the VHS and DVD, but the movie is called New Alcatraz. But what doesn't make sense is it went straight to video.
Yeah, right.
Boa was released after the success of the Python series, another straight-to-video series, which led to a sequel called Boa vs. Python.
Wait, really?
Which has a 2.8 on IMDb.
Wait, there's a sequel to this movie called Boa vs. Python?
Yes. There's 3 Python movies.
Yeah.
1 Boa movie, and then there's Boa vs. Python. Also, they said their inspiration for Boa vs. Python, this is not a joke, I've read this, was Alien vs. Predator. They literally said that was their inspiration.
I'm going to give you a really quick synopsis, and then I'm going to kind of go through the story a little bit more detail. So what's Boa about? Well, essentially there is some secret supermax prison in Antarctica called New Alcatraz, funded by global leaders, and it contains some of the most dangerous criminals in the world, supposedly, although these criminals like when I saw there was like 6 prisoners, and none of them seem like the most dangerous criminals in the world to me. There's some engineers that work at this prison, and they're doing some drilling because they're trying to tap into a source of heat to heat up the facility, the prison, so that nobody freezes to death. And as they're drilling, they encounter a hollow rock formation, and they proceed to tell the warden, "Hey, warden, there's a hollow rock formation down here. We should not drill into this because it could cause an explosion." And warden's like, "I don't give a shit. Drill into it anyways." So they drill into it. It causes the whole place to shake, but there's no explosion because instead it releases pure nitrogen. So it was just filled with pure nitrogen. Then we cut to the defense minister of Chechnya and his right-hand man in an airplane. So these guys are flying in their airplane, and 2 US jets intercept them, fire an EMP, forcing the plane to have to follow them, which doesn't make any sense to me, because I would think if a plane got hit with an EMP, it would just completely go down, but I guess not. So they have to follow these jets, and when they land, they get arrested because apparently these 2 guys bought a couple of nukes that they're going to use against Russia. And so they decide to arrest them and throw them in this prison, New Alcatraz. So we got the prison. They hit this hollowed out rock formation, and that is where Boa comes from. This giant 100-foot long prehistoric snake escapes the rock formation and starts to wreak havoc in the prison, okay? So basically the first time we're really introduced to this snake, the warden gets a call from the 2 engineers, and they're like, "Hey man, there's a giant tunnel here that wasn't here last night." And the warden's like, "What?" And he goes down there, and sure enough, there's this giant ass tunnel, and it goes all the way to the heat source. And they're like, "How did this get here?" And they're like, "Oh, it must have been a gas explosion," because they're a bunch of morons. So the warden's like, "Whatever. put a guard up until we can seal it up. And then guess what? Later on, this guard is here by himself at this tunnel. He hears a noise at the tunnel. He goes in the tunnel and he gets eaten by the snake. So that's our first victim. And then the engineers get killed by the snake. And this is kind of where our first weird scene is. You want to talk about this one?
I just remember a snake being in the ceiling.
Yeah, and then he kills one of the engineers. The other engineer's just sitting there on the vehicle, staring at it.
You know what it reminded me of? There's this scene where Austin Powers is driving this super slow car.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's a joke, and there's a guy just standing there going, ah! And it's getting closer and closer, and the man has no emotion, but it's as a joke. That's what this scene was like.
So then we get introduced to our, I guess, hero of the movie, Dean Cain's character. He's a college professor. His name is Dr. Trenton. He's a paleontologist. Him and his wife are paleontologists. So it introduces them at the college, and then they're at a dig site trying to dig up some fossils or whatever. And the military approaches them and they're like, hey, man, we need your expertise. We've got some problems at this facility.
It's basically Jurassic Park.
Right.
They're supposed to be like Sam Neill and Laura Dern's characters.
But the difference is those characters in Jurassic Park, they actually did something useful. This guy fucking does nothing. What does he do? He does nothing the entire movie. The military knows there's a giant snake there. They know.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they just evacuate the prison and send a large team with heavy weaponry just to go in there and try to kill the snake? Why do they even need these people? They know there's a giant snake in there. Just go in there and try to kill it.
No, they send an upper class white family.
They team up with a team of military guys. They get in a plane. They take off to Antarctica. The Trentons and the military guys have to go through a blizzard to get to the entrance to the prison. And the leader of the military is like, I'm the only way in or out of this prison. Why? So they go in there. They meet up with the warden and his guards. A lot of the guards have already been killed. Prisoners are still in their cells, right? And the military team's like, all right, the lower level of the prison still, military team is like, all right, we're going to go down there and kill this snake. These are supposed to be highly trained military guys. One of them just starts shooting at nothing.
He shoots one of his own men.
That's right, he does. He shoots one of his own men.
He's like, oh, I hit something. And they walk over to it, and his friend's dead.
Yeah.
He shot his own friend.
God damn it.
Go down there and help them. And the guards are like, fuck you, we don't want to do that. And he's like, I'll fire you.
He says that?
Yeah, he's like,
this is a direct order. And what the hell are you gonna do if I don't? I'm gonna fire you.
But inevitably he does. The rest of the guards go down there, and
how's he die? Oh, he gets...
In the span of like 2 minutes, everybody fucking dies except the Trentons.
Is he the one that gets blown up?
Yeah. Everybody in the military team dies. All the guards die. And all that's left is the Trentons. Now here's where shit gets weird. So the Trentons are running from the snake, right? And the wife falls down the ladder and the snake's down there, and it makes you think that she died, but it's very clear from the viewer's point that she doesn't die. It's very obvious, but tries to make you think that she dies. So here's Dean Cain's character, Dr. Trenton. His wife just got killed by a snake. And how does he act, Devin?
Well, he doesn't give a shit at all.
Not a bit.
Doesn't cry. Also, there's another thing that's missed there. The reason she got caught by the snake is because she had to take a picture of it.
Yeah.
She's like, I gotta take a picture of this snake that she just saw murder 20 people.
And besides, they already know the snake is real. They got it on camera. The prison warden has it on camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from the security system, dude.
You're right. Also, okay. Speaking of the security system, the security room is one of the funniest things I've ever... Bro, this security room has 50 monitors. It looks like something out of Star Trek, and he's in this spinning chair.
Yeah, it moves around.
Oh, shit. By the way, when everybody dies, it randomly cuts to the warden, and he just goes, shit.
Can you hear me? Shit.
After this happens, after almost everybody's dead, Dean Cain's character is like, Warden, we got to let the prisoners out, because if anybody can help us escape from this prison, it's these prisoners. Hey, let's talk about the prisoners for a second. So there's 6 prisoners. The 2 Chechens, which we already talked about, one of them is the defense minister of Chechnya. And then we've got a female member of the IRA. And then you've got Jose, some guy that bombs embassies. And then you got a quiet guy named Bob or Ben, his name is Ben, and he's a chemical weapons builder. And then you got this suave hacker guy.
From America. By the way, did you catch what he hacked? He hacked AOL. One of my biggest pet peeves in movies is eating in movies, because I understand that you can't actually eat the food on the plate because you have continuity errors and stuff like that.
Right.
So I hate watching people in movies just poke at their food. It drives me insane. It's one of my biggest pet peeves in movies. This entire scene that's 5 minutes longer than planning their prison escape. The American hacker is putting butter on toast the entire 5 minutes.
I didn't notice that, dude.
For 5 minutes straight, he is rubbing a butter knife across toast. Also, why would you give the world's most dangerous criminals knives?
That's a good point.
When the Irish woman comes to sit down at the table, it's so obvious this is an American doing the worst Irish accent.
I would have lesbian sex with your dead grandmother before I'd even consider the likes of you.
They free the criminals. They all arm up with weapons and stuff. And the criminals proceed to die one by one. And then the hacker guy dies because he decides he's just going to fucking leave everybody.
And then all of a sudden he swerves around this corner in a whip. Where did he get that?
Right.
And then he starts driving off. I don't even remember what happens. What's he get?
Or he
gets impaled maybe?
I think.
Oh no, he does get impaled because that thing comes through his chest.
Yeah.
That looks awful.
Yeah, that's right.
That horrible body horror effect.
Dr. Trenton and Patty, the IRA member, are starting to escape, and Patty starts to get eaten by the snake as they're in the tunnel to try to escape. And the snake is just slowly eating her. And Dr. Trenton remembers that she told him not to let the snake get him. At first, he's trying to shoot the snake, but then to spare her from being eaten alive, he shoots her.
This death scene is so bad too.
Dr. Trenton, his wife, and the defense minister of Chechnya get to the plane. The plane starts to take off. It gets in the air, and somehow the snake jumps on the plane. How does that even happen?
Boa, man. He's got hops, dude. He's got a 47-mile vertical.
So they open the thing, and the big cargo bay opener at the back of the plane, and of course, big surprise, the snake flies out of the plane, and the rope or whatever grabs the defense minister, and they all jump to try to save him, but they can't, and the defense minister and the snake fly out of the plane. And then the movie ends.
So you know what I think happened? I think that guy and the snake were like Gandalf in the
the Balrog. Balrog, whatever it is.
So I think Boa vs. Python starts with that. They're like falling, and they're just beating the shit out of each other. I'm talking it's like an anime fight. They're just beating the shit out of each other. And when they crash into the sea, somehow they meet up with Python.
Dude, I think you might be onto something. The whole time we're watching this movie, I'm sitting here thinking, when is this movie gonna end?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking, God, I want this movie to end. So I hope you guys appreciate the fact that me and Devin are putting ourselves through torture from time to time so that you guys don't have to. Devin, I think it's safe to say that Boa is not a keeper.
Oh, I've never wanted to give one of these movies away more.
So if you want to enter the giveaway for Boa, go to the Instagram page, vhs.voyage. There will be a post up tonight. The night this video goes live, you have 1 week from tonight to enter the giveaway for Boa. Really easy to enter. And don't forget, next week, we're going to be talking about Komodo. We're going to be watching and talking about Komodo. And at the end of that episode, we're going to decide which movie is better, Komodo or Boa. And I would almost be willing to bet.
It's got to be. It's got to be Komodo.
Yeah. That's it for today's episode of VHS Voyage on Boa. I'm Matt.
I'm Devin.
Catch you guys next week.